We talked to Brad Machine Gun Kelly about his win over Kaine Tomlinson at BKFC 15 and about him getting started in bare knuckle. And that's coming up next.
I always say this, you've got to be crazy enough to get in the fight game in general, but bare knuckle's a whole nother crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I guess just tell us about it, man. Tell us how you got into it, why bare knuckle, the differences in training, so on and so forth.
Well, most of my MMA fights, I'm primarily like a striker. So everybody that has been around me, as soon as they heard bare knuckles coming out, they was like, "Oh man, that's your game. That's something you'd be good at because you can let your hands go." I like to be entertaining and everything. So pretty much, everybody want to see me do striking, and I was just like, all right, well, I'll do anything once, So I wanted to check it out. Yeah, man. Like, so everybody just kind of told me that's something that I should try out, and I just did it,
Well, I was gonna say, what's the differences as far as training? I mean, I know like there's the obvious, of course, obviously it's no gloves, but I get different answers from different people because some people say I don't really notice that much difference, and some people say, well, yeah, the biggest difference is hitting the person and feeling that bone on bone, bone on skin.
So I dropped him like 3 times, and I never felt my hand connect him. Like I never felt any. I just felt a little pressure. That's it. So I was worried about my hands being broken because everybody's like, "Oh my God, you could break your hands," blah blah blah. So I was like, "Well, if I break my hands, I break my hands." But honestly, I broke my rib instead of my hands.
What attracts you to bare knuckle, man? Is it like you said, you're already kind of a stand-up guy anyway in MMA?
Yeah, I'm a stand-up guy. My strength and conditioning coach, Audrey, she says I'm an adrenaline junkie. So I've lived wild my whole life. So I guess the more dangerous, the better for me, if anything. But I don't know. I wanted to test it out and see what it was like though. But one difference is like your hands do feel naked when you're out there. Like with gloves on, you feel protected, but you feel like you got to be a little more precise and a little more, accurate with your punches and everything. So,
training wise, did you really have to change anything? I mean, obviously, I know a lot of people say they love not having to worry about grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, anything like that anymore. They can just focus.
Right.
I mean, is there anything that you changed up specifically for bare knuckle?
Yeah, because I'm kick heavy in my MMA fights, so I was worried about like if I did start getting pieced up pretty bad, if I was gonna like throw a leg kick or a knee or something like that, So I just did like a lot of sparring with no leg kicks, no grappling or anything for like 6 weeks, maybe. Well, yeah, about 6 weeks. I didn't do any kicking or grappling.
Just out of sheer reaction, just throw a high kick.
Yeah, because I'm very kick heavy in my fights, That's what I set up. I set up most of my hands with my feet anyway. So, but
oh man, I can't think of his name. The guy he fought Lieben. He fought Chris Lieben, and he kept going for like Lieben would rock him, and he kept going for like a double leg, and everybody's like, "What the hell are you doing?" It was just like you could tell it was just like a reaction. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So his first reaction when he got rocked was to go for like a double leg, go for a takedown.
That's right. But see, that almost happened. I never want to shoot in on people in MMA fights, and if I get them against the cage, I'll take them down. But I remember the first time whenever he caught me with an uppercut, it broke my rib. So I was like, "Oh man!" It kind of made me not panic a little bit, but I felt it break. Yeah. And then I come in and he caught this right there.
Oh yeah.
So immediately, like I clenched him, which I was like, okay, well, this is why people clinch now. Shit hurts, and But I remember one time we was clenched up. It looks like in the video I kind of like hesitate because I'm like, well, I'm fixing to take this dude down. For one time I wanted to do a double leg.
Well, I was gonna say, let's I tell you what, let's bring this up because I wanted to bring this clip up and maybe just kind of talk through it a little bit. This is the clip of that exchange you guys had in the clinch, and you guys were just hitting each other in the clinch.
Yeah.
I was gonna see if I could just kind of give your thoughts, like as this is kind of happening.
Yeah, right there. Very first uppercut he threw, man, like I felt my ribs break.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he caught me like right under the armpit.
Right back out. Tomlinson back off the jab. Rear right uppercut. That was clever from Tomlinson.
This is probably one of the craziest exchanges. I mean, like, there's been some crazy fights, but
Yeah.
when you guys kind of got in this wild exchange right here, just
Yeah, see, like right there, like I actually initiated the clinch at first because he split my head open. I was like, well, that was different, you know. Yeah, it's not the smoothest performance, but like right there, I wanted to take him down.
yeah, but you know what? And this is what I tell people, man, is like it's you know, like you're saying, yeah, okay, it's not the smoothest, it's not the prettiest, but it's fucking bare knuckle, man. Like, it's not supposed to be super pretty. I think people like that kind of shit, man. Just
Yeah,
get in there, get dirty, that dirty boxing, just you know, that
well, see, in the gym, like I wouldn't say a fancy striker, but I do a lot of little tricky stuff and everything. So I think everybody expected me to be just slipping and, you know, bobbing and weaving and missing punches, and it wasn't like that at all.
Yeah.
You get caught that first time and get your head split open. It's like, well, you know, let's clench up for a second.
So how would you put, like, your you know, this is your first outing bare knuckle, how would you put the experience as a whole between, you know, getting ready for it, you know, maybe, you know, fight week, the lead up to it, the fight itself, post fight? How would you say the whole experience has been?
Oh man, it's totally different. Like, it's a bigger show than normal some of the local shows. You know, everything's really fast paced. Like, as soon as we went to weigh-ins, they was having like I weighed in and then jumped right to like the live official weigh-in. Whereas to like a local show, you know, you weigh in at 2 o'clock, then you got to drag everything out all day and weigh in at 7 o'clock later on. You know, so it's just everything's real fast paced and organized. I love that part of it for sure.
So is it safe to say, is bare knuckle at least home for a little while, or do you still want to kind of test the waters, go back to MMA, maybe do a little bit of both, you know?
I kind of like bare knuckle, man. I like it. Especially like a lot more publicity, you know, with BKFC and everything. So I kind of got lucky on that one. It was supposed to be like Toga Line Series, you know, just kind of like a gateway to get into BKFC, and then all of a sudden everything just kind of fell into.
Everything got changed.
Yeah, everything got changed. So now it's just like, dude, I got people all day long was like Facebook requests, you know. So it was just kind of blowing up, get me out there. So whatever's gonna get my name out there, get me paid more. That's what I'm looking to do.
You know what, man, and I tell you what, I tell people all the time, you know, a lot of the guys is, you know, especially that come from, like, whether it's the glove boxing world or the MMA world and getting into bare knuckle, man, fucking take advantage of it, because like right now, it's still it's a small pond, right? So whereas, you know, MMA and glove boxing, it's so saturated. There's a gazillion people doing it.
That's right. Not everybody wants to do this.
Not everybody wants to do it. And B, I mean, there's a couple, you know, there's the Total On Fight Series, there's BKFC. I know there's a couple, you know, there's a big promotion out in UK. You know, and there's a couple here and there. I know Dada 5000 has his own promotion, and
really,
BYB, he does. Matter of fact, they just had a show, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's on Fight TV. I would put it nowhere near. It's nowhere near the, and this isn't a knock, but it's just nowhere near the quality of BKFC. Right. It's just, you know, the production quality is there's a big gap, you know, in production quality. But you know, BKFC is it. Like, I think this sport is growing so fast.
Yep.
You know.
And that's what my head coach Eric Graham, he told me, man, he's like, you need to get into this while it's still, you know, up and coming. It's something, that's your game. That's what everybody keeps telling me. And man, I've been fighting for 12 years, dude, and I've been making chump change and, you know, broken bones and like that. I broke my thumb in one of my fights. It cost me $8,000, you know, because I didn't have insurance. So it cost me $8,000. I'm still paying on it, actually.
Yeah.
But, and still fighting for the same amount of money. So it's kind of like, it's hard to get motivated for fights, you know, and I mean, when you're not getting paid what you're worth.
Yeah. And plus too, like all these divisions, man, these divisions are still pretty small. I think because your fight with Kaine was 165, right?
65, yeah.
Is that where you feel good at, or is that just kind of like I took it because it was offered to me kind of thing?
Well, I took it. One is it felt good not getting the 55, but like I said, the lack of motivation to cut the 55 for a few $100, man. Just I'm a heavy guy, like I walk around at 190, so cutting the 55 is kind of a struggle for me. I like to eat fatty cakes too.
Right.
And then a lot of times, I would take fights short notice, and not really short notice, but 5-6 weeks out, I'd be 200 pounds. I'm like, all right, well, I can just hustle and do it. And then I would lose all of my strength going into the fight because I cut so much, freaking weight.
Yeah.
So, but now, like, this kind of feels like a big deal to me. So I feel like I'd be more motivated to stay in shape and keep my weight down. And so I think 55, I might go back down to 55.
Well, and there's something else too. There's a lot more opportunity because there's 55, there's 65, there's 75, there's 85, there's 95. There's a lot more divisions. So
Right.
guys like yourself, who's kind of like, maybe not quite like a 185er, maybe
Right.
not quite a 175er. That 165, man. There's a lot of guys in that sweet spot. Yes.
Yeah, that's a sweet spot.
Exactly.
Because I'm really too small. Like I'm not saying I'm a small 55er, but I'm a really small 70, like in the MMA world. Like I was fighting people 6'2", 6'1", 6'2" all the time, and it's hard to knock somebody out and punching up in there. But but in 55, I'm just I'm a little too heavy. I should be fighting at 70, but I'm not quite that height range.
When do you want to get back, man? How soon do you want to get back in there?
Well, I just sneezed for the first time since I broke my rib, and that crap hurts. But yeah, it was pretty painful. But I don't know. They was talking about a fight in February for BKFC, but I don't know how that's going to turn out. They hadn't said anything to me. So.
Yeah, for that big Super Bowl card.
Yeah, I'd like to get on that card.
Yeah.
That's in Tampa too. That's where Audra's from. She could sell a shit ton of tickets.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a big card.
Yeah.
Big card. I mean, I know Paige is already on it.
Yeah.
Frank Mir is wanting to fight on that card, so they might put him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You start putting those kind of guys on there, it ain't gonna be enough room for me.
Well, I mean, it's what bare knuckle 9-10 card fights usually. So I mean, there's still some room, man. There's still some room on there, buddy. There's still some room.
And that's surprising too. There's only 10 fights. Usually like MMA fights, they have 14 fights, and some of these bare knuckle fights, man, they go quick.
Quick. I like it, within 2 hours, the whole card's done.
Yeah.
It's done within 2 hours. My man, where can people reach you, like social media, stuff like that? If fans want to get in touch with you, where can they find you at?
Just Brad Kelly on Facebook, and then MMA BK32 on Instagram.
Awesome.
I don't have like a Twitter and all that crap.
You trust me, you don't need it. You don't want to mess with that. Any shout outs to anybody, anything like that?
Audra Cummins, she's my strength and conditioning coach. We best friends. Look at her looking at me over there. You better give me a shout out. But yeah, Audra Cummins, man, she makes a lot of things. She's the reason I'm on here right now. So she takes care of everything for me. She's kind of like my manager too. So she's trying to hook up fights for me, get me more money and stuff like that. Eric Graham, of course, he's my head coach at Graham's MMA and Pedal. And Brandon Davis, man, he's helped me out with my striking a lot too. So
awesome.
And of course, all the guys in my gym. It's a lot.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, look, man, I look forward to seeing you again, brother. And like I said, take care. Heal up those ribs, man. Don't be coughing or sneezing anymore.
Oh, boy, that sneezing hurts, boy.
I've had a bruised rib before, and I know how much that hurt. I can't imagine a broken rib. So I sympathize with you a great deal. But brother, we appreciate your time, man, so much. Thanks for stopping by. And like I said, we will be in touch, and we'll catch you again later, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.